Hello, this is Kevin with the Healthy Omnivore, and now we're at day 3 of the 7-day e-course that's going to help you actually be able to develop a healthcare program that's not only going to help you to look better and feel better, but do both of those things for a long, long time. Now, this is the first day that we actually talked about movement, and what I want to do is talk to you about proper movement, because there's all sorts of movement that I'm seeing out there, but in most cases it isn't necessarily proper movement. And as a healthy omnivore, as a hunter-gatherer, what I want to do is introduce you to some things that you can actually do to actually improve not only the way you look and feel, but really combat what's going on now because we're stuck in the middle of this technology era and we haven't adapted to it. And what I mean by technology era is there are just so many times that we end up doing things that we're just not, it's just not natural yet. A lot of that may be sitting. How much time do you spend at a desk, on the couch, in a car? You've probably seen this joke, but it's funny because it's true. I mean, we started as an infant, we're kind of like this, and as we get stronger, and we get bigger, and we actually get to the point that we're here, and oh my gosh, look at that kid's posture. And then, boy, it doesn't take long. Next thing you know is we're going the wrong direction. Then we're back here again. That might be a little exaggerated, but it's not that exaggerated. And the truth is, we don't need to be doing that. We can actually strengthen our body in a way, safely and effectively, to be able to hold that erect posture for a long, long time. But not just that. We've gotten to the point that if somebody says, oh, I walked around the block today, that's supposed to be exercise. Or some people have a tough time getting down to the toilet and back up again. That's the technology era. I mean, those are things that we shouldn't be having challenges with. But we do. So today I'm going to introduce you to proper movement. We're going to call it the Healthy Omnivore Routine, or THOR as an acronym. And very important, and I want to convey this message, is that in most cases you won't need any equipment. There's only one movement that we need to do, and we may need to have some type of equipment available. First thing, I want to show you how little space you need. I'm 6'3", 260. I'm in the middle of a garage. I'm going to be doing these videos everywhere. Bedrooms. I'm going to be doing them in living rooms, outside, in a small area. You don't need a ton of area. This area right here, and this is all you would need for this specific workout, would be about 3 feet wide and about 7 feet long. Everybody has that available. And I've lived in states where you don't want to go outside specific seasons. So you really need to be able to, if you're going to stay on a specific program, you want to be able to do it daily. So you're going to have to be able to do it inside, because not everybody has great weather all the time. So let's get started. Now, the most important thing that I want to convey to you is that we're going to be working on your posture, we're going to be working on postural muscles, we're going to be working on all sorts of movements that we should be able to do until we're way up in years. There's no reason that we have to stop moving the way we did as a younger person. We just do. But there's no reason that we have to do that. We just do, because we get caught up in this whole technology era and everything becomes easy. So those are the kind of things that I want to introduce to you and get those back into your life. So the way this is going to work is you're going to have 5 specific moves. And those 5 moves, you'll be able to do them for 1 minute, up to 1 minute, not necessarily 1 minute. And you could go through those 5 moves 4 rounds or 4 times. So your max workout will be 20 minutes at the max. You don't have to go through it 4 times. And a lot of that's going to have to do with exercise progression, which we'll get to later. But you might only do it twice. If you're really, really deconditioned, you may only want to do this twice. Now also, within these 5 moves I'm going to give you, you have beginner moves, intermediate moves, and advanced moves. I have no idea where you're at. And it doesn't really matter. You could be totally deconditioned beginner. But you set goals, you reach the goals, and you move forward. You get to intermediate. you get to advanced, and then you look back and you go, wow, I've come a long way. And it's totally possible, and that's what you want to do. Okay, so the 5 moves that I would like to introduce you to are, you're actually going to do a pulling move, a pushing move, a squatting move, and then a move I'm going to call a yoga move, though I am by no means yogi. I do think there's quite a bit of importance in some of the moves that have actually been introduced. And I've found that for some of the challenges that I was having, some of those moves greatly benefited me. So I would actually like to introduce those to you. And then finally, the 5th move would be a type of static stretch, which actually is the least beneficial of the 5 things we're going to be doing. But it gives you the opportunity to maybe stretch out some areas that are overly tight to improve some of the imbalances that you have. But it also helps you to get your wind back, work on your breathing, and recover for the next round. So that's a pull, a push, a squat, a yoga move, and a static stretch. So I'm just going to go through the basics. Don't be overly weirded out about, oh, I have to learn the exact move. I'm going to keep adding videos and even sometimes pictures that you can actually take a look at to better understand what you're doing. See, I totally disagree with what's going on right now in the health and fitness industry, where I'm the specific or specialized expert, and I just think, well, just do what I do. I don't explain to you why you're doing it, and the next thing I know is I'm seeing all these DVDs where people are being trained and the mechanics are horrible. I mean, how in the world, if you can't do a proper squat, am I teaching you how to do a lunge, and a lunge with a twist or a press? That makes no sense, and that's actually embarrassing. Well, it should be for anybody that's in the health and fitness industry. But that won't happen here. Exercise progression, beginner, intermediate, advanced. If you can't do the move properly, you move too quickly. You go back and you actually go back to a move that you can do properly, get to the point where you can do it enough times, and then go to the next move. Okay, so quickly, let's go ahead and go through just a basic program. And this would be your routine, a basic routine of 5 moves. So the first move is actually going to be a pull. Now this is where you might need some type of equipment. Dumbbells, bands, or straps. In all honesty, straps are the best. It's something that's either going to have to come out of, say, you can hook up into a door or from somewhere like a beam or something. I'll introduce that later, but for right now, we're going to use dumbbells. Now this is actually called a sports block, and what's cool about this is I think you can get these at Sports Authority, and sometimes they have them underpriced. For a female, I mean, you can't beat this. Or if you're like a senior and you say, I just want to have some dumbbells, not take up a lot of room. This right here, I believe it's 24 pounds, I believe. And so there are 8 different weights, 3-pound increments. So you could just turn this and let's say I want 9 pounds. Boom. Real easy to grip. So you have 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24. Can't beat it. But to work your postural muscles, you actually are going to want to be able to pull. And you can pull a dumbbell, you can pull a band, you can put your body weight. Personally, I like the whole body weight thing, and we'll introduce that later. But today we have dumbbells, and so that's what we're going to work on. Most people have some type of dumbbell in the house. Even if you don't, you can fill up, say, a jug of milk or some type of jug with water, with a grip, and use that. Okay? I'll only do one arm now, and then I'll add. So what you're going to do is a lot of people like to put their hand on something, like let's say a chair. You can do that, or if you're strong, which you may not be, you're actually going to tighten your core, and you're going to actually pull the blade back, and you're going to drive your arm back, just like this. So the elbow comes right back to the spine. You're doing 2 arms. Blades, drive the blades back, drive the elbow to the spine. Drive the blades back, drive the elbow to the spine. And you would just go nice and easy there for up to a minute with the weights down. If you can only go 20 seconds, you can only do it 20 seconds. Now I should show you that if you go, oh geez Kevin, I can't. I don't have the strength to hold my body like that. Well, probably don't. So that's okay. Rest your arm here. Pull your blade back. Go. Now, I digress. If you don't know how to contract the muscles of your core, this is how you do it. Exhale, draw your belly button in. See? Harder than a rock. I didn't suck in. See, if I suck in, look what happens to my spine. I'm totally in flexion. That's horrible posture. I'm weak. If you punch me in the gut now, you'd kill me. Draw the belly button in. Breathe out. That's how you protect your spine. That's how you protect your low back. Blade back, drive. See, until I finish at 90 degrees there, boom, 90 degrees. Now, if you wanted to actually, and this is a horrible, horrible chair to do this, but you can actually do the same thing here. Now I have more of a base, blade back, drive. So, if you're finding, wow, I'm really weak in my spine, I can't hold weight, even if it's 3 to 5 pounds, give yourself a little bit more of a base with a bench. Okay, second move, press. This is your second minute. So you go to the press. Now, I have no idea where you're at in your conditioning level, so I'm going to show you some basic moves. You could, I mean, if you're really weak, you could start on a wall. Hands beneath the shoulders, you come into the wall, press back. And you might think, come on, Kevin. Trust me, I've worked with people who that becomes a challenge. So, that's where you are, that's okay. Don't worry about it. I don't care. You're going to get stronger. Once you get stronger, then you go here. Knee push-up. Once again, protect the core. Draw the belly button in. Now, I have some issues with my right shoulder, so this really is important to understand. Not everybody's going to put their hand in the exact same position. You need to put your hand in a position that's going to be easy on the shoulder. The one thing I can say, you do not want your hand above the shoulder. I see a lot of this. You do not want to be doing that. It's really hard on the shoulder. So, core tight. My body is in perfect postural position. I'm not leading with the head. Okay? Now, you might go, well, geez, I can do like one of those. So this is what you would do, and this is a little bit of part of exercise progression. You would decrease your range of motion. So if you can only get to here on the second one, then only go to there. Another thing that you can do is once you go, you know what, now I can do like 15, 20 of those, but it's going to be hard to go to the regular push-up. You can do a halvesy push-up, which is incline plane, go down, drop your knees, press up. Come down, drop the knees, press up. Okay? And then obviously you have, the next move is just a regular push-up. Incline plane, perfect postural position. Now the key there is, if you're going to work with me, you have to keep your spine straight. You don't lead with your head. This isn't a race. You want proper mechanics on every single rep. So if you're up against the wall, perfect mechanics. If you're doing a knee push-up, perfect mechanics. Doing 1 or 2 or 3 extra reps with poor mechanics, or every single rep with poor mechanics, that adds up. And it's poor motor control, it's going to create all sorts of dysfunction, and it's going to cause you all sorts of muscular imbalances and all sorts of challenges in the future. Okay? Okay, so we've done pull, we've done a push, now we're doing a squat. Let me show you how you actually should have your feet on a squat. Most people aren't teaching this. I think it's unfortunate. When you stand, your feet are right underneath your hips. It's okay to have your toes straight ahead. But as this bone, the femur, moves away from midline, abduct out there, this rotates. This bone rotates. You can't move away from your body and keep the toes straight ahead. Keep your foot locked in, and as the big bone moves away from the body, let the toe rotate out. So the wider I go with my stance, the more I'm abducting and the more I'm rotating. So the more the toes should actually rotate out. Because when I drop down, I want the femur knee to go over the second and third toe, or at least in that range. Everybody's a little bit different. But that's going to be the comfort. You go here, you're going to cause all sorts of challenges, alignment issues. It's going to cause all sorts of stress on the hip and specifically the knee. Okay? So, if you're there, you're always going to lead with the hips. You don't lead with the knees. Now I just want to show you, if I'm 6'3", 260, and I can do this, you were talking about the whole thing with the technology era. If I can get this deep, 99% of the United States should really get that deep. If I'm 47, going on 48 pretty quick here, you should be able to do it. So tell yourself you can do it. Don't make excuses. Don't let anybody else make an excuse for you. You should be able to do it. Okay? So, now your range of motion. That was the deep squat, a full squat with no load other than your body weight. We should be able to do that. It's not tough on the knees. It's actually great for us. Great for circulation in the spine, great for digestive issues. But that's not what we're going to try to get here today. So, depending upon your strength level, what you've got going on with your glutes and your knees. See, in my family, we have no butt. If I don't lunge and squat, I don't have this. I have nothing. Matter of fact, I'd be the belt guy. I'd be the guy who always had different belts because I couldn't keep my pants up. And by the way, if you're going, how come you sweating? I think it's like 105 degrees in this garage right now. So anyway, the squat. Once again, postural muscles. The focus now is properly moving, picking things up, pressing from the hips, but getting that glute going. In this country, well, at least in the United States, no butts. This is the biggest and most powerful muscle in the body. We need to work it. So, when you come down, I'm going to let you swing your arms out because you're going to actually work that to balance. Get your proper position. If you like going narrower, you're not probably getting as much range of motion. It's more of a quad squat. You're going to get a lot more movement at the knee joint. We want more movement at the hip. Exhale. Now see, I can get full range. Now see how I flex under a little bit? That's fine for me, but that might be too much range of motion for you. So what you do is, you just work on decreasing your range of motion. And when you're coming up here, boom, that's the muscle you're trying to work. Okay? I realize I'm teaching you a lot here. Okay, so that's your third move. Don't worry about reps. You just kind of want to work on it for a minute or so. I mean, I realized that the first time through, I said, you could do 4 times around, but right now you're just trying to get the mechanics down, trying to figure out exactly how this is going to work. But I like you to go and hit each of these twice through today, okay? Number 3, I have a handful of beginning yoga moves I'd like to teach you, but today I'm just going to give you one, and we're going to do the downward dog. I like this one because there's no rotation. I'm finding that if you have to do one thing where you actually tighten up at the hips and then rotate, that's a big, big step for most people. So I'm only going to actually do one thing at a time with the beginner moves. Downward dog. You'll start with an inclined plane, which in itself is a great move because you have to work the core, you have some stuff going on with the shoulder girdle. Now the key is, once you get this move, I want you to breathe in the nose, out the mouth 3 times. Deep breaths. Okay, 3 times. Okay, so you're in inclined plane. Perfect postural position. I just raise my butt up, put my head in between my elbows. Now, the key here is, I'd rather you work on your upper back than what's going on in your knee joint. Keep your head in between your elbows. Do not hyperextend at the shoulder joint. Do not flex. Do not ever extend the spine. Breathe in. Maybe try to raise the butt a little bit. Drive the shins forward, the thighs back. There you go. I'm not kidding. It's 105 degrees in here. So anyway, so there's your downward dog. And that's your basic move for today for your yoga. Now, finally, and lastly, let's go ahead and do a stretch. It's going to be a combo stretch. I think that this hits 2 areas that we have some major challenges. And I'm going to call it the pretzel. And you can do that by itself, or you can actually do a pretzel with a hamstring stretch. So, we're going to combo them today. Okay? Now you could do them both independently, but I'm going to combo them. So, you always make sure your spine is straight. And actually on static stretching, you're going to do a lot better if you're on the ground, if you want to get something out of it. Pretzel stretch, I come up. This is actually going to work a muscle deep down inside the glute called the piriformis. You reach in, you exhale, as we're beginning, we're just going to go for 3 deep breaths. And as you can see, that side is tighter. Now, this is the hamstring. Come up, my pelvis does not move. My spine is still in neutral. Breathe in. Then you do the other side. So what's it going to look like if I combo them? Here. Now, if you want to calf in, you pull the toe towards your body. Okay? Three deep breaths. Okay? Okay, so there you have it. Pull, push, squat, yoga, static stretch. So just work on those, and start thinking about the basic concepts. So, because tomorrow I'm going to add more information, a little bit more about exercise progression. I'll add some more yoga moves. Because we need to move you along. It's only 7 days, and though I'm trying to develop a basic platform for you to actually have as a foundation, I'd like you to get some results from what we're actually doing today. So anyway, if you have questions on day 3, go ahead and leave those questions on the website and I will reply to them. Thank you very much. This is Kevin with the Healthy Omnivore, and thank you very much.